Abusia for aha a Kinto TV and some people episode to us from Bian so best as to Kinto TV. Now wash out so other platform or comments or comment section I say. And more reviews over notification band some and simply be broken to TV no. Why face in when you're something getting one near costo a war or ma carnimo. Abusia for Ye name say yes 7 January year 2025 ye woman year beko 2026 and a day ye na ye man pini Mahama&Asiedu so be ye president ni dini si so 7 no na a year 1 week san so beto so year 14 days 15 days no and a ye na pape e ka so bit say a year committee na committee no all better no
House at the report a command president that for near committee no at the go munsem no there as when yes or catch the kind committee no the nsembere to ga omuchirema president kra no mo pese omugi ni 2 minutes kakra president 2 minutes so do mo pese omugi bi no mo di become council of state appointment bebre ho no council of state na enye the council attorney general position no esono do onu amu yekosi Ghana wa abrochire a on ne kugina Ghana name onu amu CSS no Ghana onu na se gina Ghana name wo Ghana Supreme Court bia kosi wa ban a onu an ne kugina nti onu aso na ehwese krono nsam ne keta hye ora ne ada nti ombesi echem kwan bi so na chese ye adwuma ne so okay na shocking one e buy ne se committee ni chirema etifo asema me be kan abrantie friend no papa friend ze Bryce Simmons ele akoto ne Twitter page committee na say nyame andoma president akonya no omo pese eko 5 years they say president beba betina akonya so na 4 years okono this time around committee ni chirema omo be ne 5 years engineer 4 years bi 5 years na anya bia no akoye 5 years sa no John Dramani Mahama beko 5 years ana obeko 4 years eno ne asema abanti Bryce Simmons at the Cotton Twitter page was a word on the street is that there's a bit of tension at the highest levels of government about a few of the recommendations made for changes to the Ghanaian constitution by an eminent panel, such as a rumored shift to a 5-year term for future president. So according to Bryce Simmons, future president, John Mahama count, but another side there it say a bit more for John Mahama time. You are John Mahama, ebeko 4 years and obeko 5 years. Yenti asema Professor H. Kwesi Prempeh a presidential report no or chidim the entire committee no suggested 5 years. Yenti now we are the agent at a comment session on middle was be brave.
So there isn't we couldn't find a place for a third term for the president. So we looked and looked, we couldn't find. I mean, we realized that the president himself doesn't like it. Nobody really seems to like it. There wasn't much of a demand for it at all. The only thing about that was the invitation for us to clarify ambiguity, and we didn't even want to go there. We didn't think that 66.2 raised any issues in terms of ambiguity, so we kept it the way it is. However, we believe we took to heart the recommendations that we got from many of the eminent persons that we met, including some who have occupied your seat, that the 4-year term was short. It was too short. And we also then learned that the emerging global norm was 5. And that even in the region, we in Nigeria have the lowest. I mean, 4 is pretty low. So we're proposing an extension by 1 more year. We have coupled that with certain recommendations on the area of campaign and campaigning, because the claim was that the president takes about 6 months or so to set up, and then 1 year campaigning and all of that. So we thought, okay, so if we then follow the example of other countries in Africa, including Senegal, where there is a definite campaign period, before which you cannot do electioneering. You can't put posters, can't put billboards, can't do jingles, can't do rallies. So it's like the fishing season. You have to open it before you can go fish. So we are proposing a campaign season, a short one, so that government will have time to govern, and that the people we elect to do the government's business will really have time to focus on governing as opposed to doing campaigning. So for the first time, we hope, if this is accepted, that we will have a political or electoral environment where campaigns, we do not run 24-hour, 24/7, 4-year campaigns, but where there is a definite period before which parties and candidates may not do campaigning. We think that would free up time for governing. But I think some of the changes we've also made in the area of appointments, I think will also unburden the presidency and also allow the president to focus more on the real business of governing as opposed to being saddled with many appointments, some of which we believe that the president will be more than happy to give up. So these are some of the highlights. We think on the whole we have done the best job that we could, given the opportunity. Where there are difficult issues that cannot be immediately resolved. For example, how do you integrate chiefs into local government at the town and village level? This is where people live their lives. This is where chiefs tend to have most power. But it's going to be a radical transformation. So we thought, instead of this committee making that decision, that the Devolution Commission then can open dialogue with the National House of Chiefs and the Regional House of Chiefs, and then with government, and begin to fashion out modalities for that integration. So those are some of the decisions. It wasn't an attempt to kick the can down the road, but we believe that some of these decisions need a little bit more deliberation and more thought and more systematic approaches. So we have deferred those ones to bodies like the Devolution Commission, which we believe will help. For the Attorney General, we want to take some of his powers, so that the oral will be done by some other body next time. So what we are proposing there is that because of the system we run, where we don't have a career civil servant being Attorney General, we think that raises challenges when it comes to prosecuting political corruption and other issues affecting politically exposed persons. So we are proposing an ethics and anti-corruption commission that can be cobbled together from some of the agencies we already have. So SHRAJ has some anti-corruption work, not prosecution. We think SHRAJ can just focus on the human rights and ombudsman work. There's plenty of that for SHRAJ to do. So we would take SHRAJ's anti-corruption mandate, couple that together with what probably the OSP and other agencies currently do, and then create out of that mix a new commission, which would then handle cases of corruption, so that the AG can be freed to do, the international arbitration and the big constitutional cases and all of those other legal policy issues, reforming legal education, the profession, and all of those things. And so we can see more of him. Now we don't see him at all because the anti-corruption work is taking all of his time. So we think he should be happy to see what it is that we are proposing. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. May I now invite His Excellency the President for the presentation of the report, please.
Thank you very much, and there's not much more to say, just to thank you for this beautiful Christmas gift. I want to thank all the members of the committee. You were chosen carefully for your integrity, your credibility, and we haven't had the experience of constitutional review committees before, and the fact that At the end of it, we had been unable to agree how to move the process forward. This time we said, let's choose the committee very carefully, so that it's a committee that Ghanaians have a trust in, so that when the report comes, it would be non-partisan. It would not have been influenced by any political interest, so that it will make it easier for all of us to come together and move the process forward. Our 1992 constitution has served us very well. I mean, it's been the most durable constitution, but a time comes when you need to look at it and make some adjustments so that it can serve us for an even longer period going into the future. The committee had the opportunity to give me a presentation of some of their recommendations before. So I'm not as shocked as some of you who are sitting here who are hearing them for the first time. And so I want to thank the committee for that presentation, and then also for the teaser you just gave. I'm sure tomorrow the newspapers are going to be headlined with the teasers that Professor Prempeh gave us. So you can take a rest after working so hard for so many months. You can enjoy your Christmas. And as soon as we resume early next year, we're moving from the constitutional review process into the implementation process. And so early next year, we would announce an implementation committee. And of course, we're going to call some of you to come and serve on that committee, because we need that institutional memory transferred into the implementation. And so take a rest now, but next year we might call some of you again to form the Constitutional Review Implementation Committee. For now, we'll study the report.